Okay, hey guys. As I promised, we're gonna go over 10 ways, 10 methods that actually work that home service contractors are using inbound marketing. So that's the key here, to generate a weekly flow of inbound new clients without significant cost or complication. So my name is Hakeem. I'm the owner of Web Services Pro. You can, if you want to, you can check out the website there. I'm not really here to talk about myself. And also with these slides, everyone is going to get a copy. So you don't really need to take notes or anything. Just kind of listen, pay attention. Okay, so who is this for? Who does it benefit? So these are for professional contractors where the services you offer average about 4 or 5 or even sometimes 6 figures, and who want to enjoy a predictable weekly flow of high quality inbound new client inquiries for, estimates and so forth. Specifically, this things like roofing, flooring contractors, foundation repair, HVAC, solar, swimming pools, decks, fences, and as you can see there. So either more like emergency services or maintenance services or something that has the aesthetic or cosmetic component. It doesn't matter. So any type of high-end or high-ticket services at home, both residential and commercial. Commercial obviously will bring in the more revenue, more profit. But this will benefit all of you. So this, I'm breaking it down to a couple of videos because it is going to be quite a lot of information. But just as a way of introduction. So inbound versus outbound marketing, just kind of what it is. So inbound, think of people chasing you. What it really is you're inviting someone to become a client after you know that they have an interest, and after you know that they have an interest in working with you. So it's kind of two things. So there's people who you already confirmed that they're motivated, that they're high quality, but the other aspect of it is now that they have that motivation and that desire, you want them to work with you specifically. So they kind of have to have an experience or introduction to you, whether you affect that or whether that's done passively. The opposite of that is outbound. So that's where kind of you chase them. You invite someone to become a client, but before you know or before you confirm that they have an interest in working with you, or even if they're interested in the service at all. And that's what a lot of contractors usually start out with trying to do. And then there's kind of a hybrid of them where you're reaching out and you're inviting those people after you've confirmed that they're interested in the service itself, but they haven't yet been introduced to you or come to know about you. So what we're going to really focus on is both pure inbound as well as hybrid, because these are where you can get the greatest results in a more efficient way possible. Okay, so basically the basic strategy is you're going to identify your ideal clients, and really your past clients are going to be a source of great information for that. So you want to nail this down. You want to get what criteria, what parameters, make up this ideal clients. And there's a manual way to do that and an automated way to do that with ads, which we'll get to later. You really want to understand their specific, again, unmet needs and motivations, because really, if someone doesn't need something, how are you going to sell it to them, or how are you going to get them to become motivated to buy? So you really have to understand what's lacking. Where's that gap? Also, what they need to see or hear to get them motivated. So kind of how to trigger them emotionally, because people initially buy based on emotion and then they justify it afterwards with logic. I'm sure you've heard that before. And then as well, you want to identify the most effective mediums or platforms to get your message across to them. So kind of knowing where they hang out, where they spend their time, and so on. So that's the strategy in a nutshell, which we're going to break down. And one thing to note is you really have to be unique. So as we said, you're already going to be speaking with people who you've confirmed they're motivated. So now the next step there to bring them in to become a client is you have to say, why work with us? So that's the whole thing about being unique. And the worst sin is really looking or sounding the same as your competitors. You have to look better and different. And that doesn't necessarily have to do only with the actual service you provide. I mean, a roof is a roof at the end of the day. Yeah, there's different types of roofs, metal roofing, shingle roofing, slates. But at the end of the day, really, in the client's eyes or in the homeowner's eyes, they're really getting a roof, for the safety and peace of mind for their family, for the security for their home. So when we're talking about being unique, you want to focus on the experience that you provide to them. And so just as an example here, so we'll take the solar niche. So a lot of solar contractors, they might come to the customer or the client and say, hey, this is how much you'll save on your energy bills. So they show them like a kind of before and after breakdown of the numbers. Oh, you can save, this much a month. But and everyone does that. But with solar energy, I'm sure that there's a way where you can actually generate more energy than people use. So you have a surplus of energy that now they can potentially sell and make money off of. So how about approaching them and saying, you can just, sit on your ass at home and make money with solar. You can generate that extra energy and you can sell it off. So instead of coming at it as a way to save money, you're actually making money. So there's a kind of unique twist over there. That's just an example. You can, in your own industry, in your own niche, just sit down and figure out ways to do that, to set yourself apart in your service offering, right? Another example is, when people go shopping, especially, for example, online shopping, and really that's really what they're doing when they come to your website, for example, and they see, and this especially applies to more of these aesthetic or cosmetic type of services. So I have like a list here: flooring or windows or doors or remodeling, landscaping. So not sort of emergency services or replacement services, but something that has an aesthetic component to it. I mean, yeah, sure, you can show nice, pretty pictures on your website and kind of make them imagine what it could be like. But how about using augmented reality? So this is like a unique shopping, quote unquote, experience for them. Let me just show you this quick video here. IKEA is doing that already. And just to kind of give you an idea of what augmented reality is.
Hey, IKEA would like everyone to know about Place, our new augmented reality app. Built on Apple's new AR kit, you can easily place true to scale 3D models of IKEA furniture in your place. Scan, browse, select, move, and place. So that could mean less of this. And less of this. And probably more of this. We want to make it easier for people everywhere to imagine a better place. Share this place. And this place. Try place in your place.
Okay, so you saw that. So you have to really think outside the box. I mean, this is geared for, online shopping or products, but you guys are not really doing products, you're doing services. So in my team, we have some developers where we're actually starting to roll this out, specifically for home service contractors. So some of you might know what QR codes are. This can be like a mobile app. So the customer, for example, if they want to do some kitchen remodeling or new flooring or new windows, or go outside and do some landscaping or install a pool. I mean, you would have this online app where they scan the QR code and you provide or upload, let's say different kinds of countertops where they can choose. So it's a more enriching experience. They use more of their senses and they can choose it that way. So that's like a unique experience that you're providing to them. Even though, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a new granite countertop, and most kitchen remodelers can provide that granite countertop, but the experience you're providing them is unique. You see what I'm saying? Another way to do this is related to conversion optimization. So you really want to talk about how to convert them from potential prospects into paying clients. And the big companies, for example, they use chatbots. A lot of insurance companies, doctor offices. There's so many, like the big corporations, they use chatbots. But based on what I can see, probably less than 1% of contractors use chatbots in their websites, or you can also hook up chatbots into their Google My Business, Google Maps, and they can be used for either customer service, like 24-hour customer service, that can save your team time and money. A lot of times people just want to ask a quick question, get a quick answer, or as well appointment generation. So you can generate appointments on autopilot using chatbots and get detailed information like the size of the home, the age of the home, what kind of services they're looking for, what kind of materials, so on and so forth. Whatever question you want to ask, what their budget is and so on. The other thing is that many studies show that consumers prefer to text with businesses rather than call. I mean, I'm sure you've been aware of, I don't want to say horror stories, but kind of big complaints about how people call up businesses and they, press 1 to do this, press 2 to do that. And it just, that whole process is very stressful and frustrating to them. And people prefer to text rather than call. It's well known. But most businesses don't provide a way most contractors don't provide a way for their potential clients to text them on their websites. So more and more are doing a sort of click to call. You click a button and then it immediately opens up their phone app. They can just place a call. But also, what about click to text? And many even don't even have a video on their website. I mean, that's a big shame. I mean, video is where it's at. So these kind of tweaks, these kind of things that set you apart, make you unique, and the way that you service potential clients is something you need to think about as well. Okay, the other big thing here is you need to be aware of the buying journey, because what you're going to do is you're going to interject or insert yourselves into kind of the middle or the later half of this buying journey. So just briefly, and this is from the HubSpot blog. HubSpot is I'd highly recommend that to you as one of the resources you should go and check out. But first, it begins with the awareness stage. I mean, before then, they're not even aware that they have a problem, or they don't have any motivation at all. But it begins at this awareness stage. So they have a need. They're aware of this need. They're experiencing the pains of that symptom or symptom level pains, and they're doing some research to more clearly understand, frame, and give a name to their problem. So they're trying to research their problem, trying to research solutions, and then moving on, down into the funnel. This is what's called a funnel here. Their problem is clearly defined. They kind of identified it, and now they're researching and trying to understand what solutions are available or how to solve that problem. Either do it yourself or who they can hire to fix that problem for them. And then they come to the decision stage. And that's where they're kind of at the end of the funnel. They're just about ready to buy. So you can target people already, in the consideration stage, or already even in the decision stage. They're already looking, and you just come in at the right place at the right time and do your magic. Right? So that's what it's about. The main thing here is you really, really, really got to know your target clients deeply. I mean, you have to know them as you know one of your best friends. If you say, hey, would your best friends, do they like, chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream? You would know off the bat that, hey, they like chocolate ice cream. They don't like vanilla ice cream. I mean, to that level. And it's not a matter of knowing people individually, but you're making an archetype or a picture of your ideal clients. And you're not going to really emotionally motivate anyone with simply listing the facts and features of the service offering. I mean, that's something they scroll right past. They roll their eyes. Yeah, same old, same old. You really want to hit their pain points, and you got to know them, of course. So this is what this principle of message market match. Be deeply familiar with their pain points, the root causes of those pain points and challenges, how that impacts them, and their desired future state outcomes. And all of that you're going to weave into and mention in your marketing messages, whether that's videos, whether that's blogs, whether that's ads, in your presentations, and so on. So again, people buy on emotion, but then they justify it with logic. So you don't draw them in using logic. You don't draw them in using the facts about your service. Oh, we're part of this and that association. I mean, nobody cares, honestly. You know, it's what's in it for them, or the features of that. So you draw them in by addressing their emotional triggers, and then once you have them, you close them with those unique benefits and features. And I really highly recommend a great resource, a great book. It's called Gap Selling by Jim Keenan. You can find it on Amazon. It's cheap. It's about like $15-20, I think. But just as a simple example here, so different classes of clientele. I mean, you have the potential prospects who are looking for coupons and deals and discounts, and those are a kind of certain class of clients. And then you have a more usually the higher net worth or affluent clients. They don't really care about coupon this or discount that. So when you're coming at them and saying, hey, we're running a 20% off special, and you're trying to aim for those higher level affluent clientele, that's a mismatch in their message market, because that doesn't really that's not one of their motivations. And yet we see a lot of contractors just kind of doing a one-size-fits-all approach, and that's a big mistake. And that's where you attract, I mean, if you're only talking about discounts, you're going to attract that type of clientele where they care more about the discounts they have more than they care about you and what service you provide, if that makes sense. Okay. In terms of doing that research, the market research, I mean, the best way to do it is really just surveying your previous clients. You already have a list of clients, get to know them. Give them, maybe like a gift card or whatever, or just if they're willing to just survey them, ask them these types of questions. But aside from that, you can kind of do research in these different avenues. So you can do niche groups on Facebook or LinkedIn or so on. Just go in there, spend an hour or two, just kind of scroll through and see what people are talking about and take notes. What are they complaining about? What are they looking for recommendations for? Just kind of pick up on the language that they use. Same thing with YouTube channels. Whether YouTube channels that what they talk about in their videos, or the comments that they put on those videos. So if there's a video about HVAC installation or roofing installation or kitchen remodeling, what kind of things do people say in the comments? Look at what they say. Same thing with Amazon. You can go to Amazon, as you know that people put reviews in Amazon. Look at for example, 3-star reviews, not the 5-star. I mean, you can look at those too, but look at what people are talking about, what their pain points are, what they're looking for. They're saying that this book didn't address this concern of mine. Boom. Now you have now you know what's going on in their head. Same thing with Quora. If you don't know, Quora is a public question and answer website where people can post questions and others can answer them. It's a very, very neat website. Same thing with Yahoo Answers, although that's not as popular. But Quora is a really good one. Just see what questions people are asking, so you know what they're thinking, right? Same thing with Reddit. Reddit is very popular. These Reddit subreddits or subgroups where people have discussions about your niche. Podcasts and blogs, even watching what competitors are doing. They might be addressing their clients in a way that you might not have thought of, right? So what are some mistakes that contractors are doing? And these are mostly related to kind of brute force or outbound marketing. So it's either canvassing or door knocking. I mean, look, so you're going door to door. You have to start your pitch from scratch. I mean, go to McDonald's and see how excited the people behind the counter are when they say, "Would you like fries with that?" I mean, you have to do that again and again. It's a really big drain on your energy. You get burned out, and it's just bothering people. So I would highly advise you to just stop door knocking. It's just a waste of time and energy and money. Same thing, instead of knocking on the door, you knock on their telephone. So cold calling, telemarketing, no one likes that. Depending on sporadic referrals, we will go later into a way to make referrals consistent, very simple ways, but kind of depending on referrals, that's not really consistent or predictable. Random posting on social media with no strategy, no technique. That's another mistake. Groupon. A lot of contractors use Groupon. The thing with that, though, is that Groupon takes a big cut. I mean, sometimes, first of all, they almost demand you reduce the services by like 50% usually. And then beyond that, or on top of that, they take out another 25%. So you're left with the small percentage of that. And then many people who use Groupon are travelers. They're not really local to the area. So you can't really, even though you might get a client or two from them, it's not going to be a local client, so you can't nurture them long term. Most of the things on Groupon are for kind of like simple patch-up jobs, simple maintenance jobs that just bring in a couple $100. So if it's like a $400, $500 service, take away 50% of that and then take away another 25% off of that. You're just getting, it's just not worth it. It's a negative ROI. Home Advisor, Angie, Thumbtack, these kind of public, shared leads providers that you have to fight with 5 or 10 other contractors, go into bidding wars. That doesn't cut it. I mean, you waste so much money with that. But yeah, there's thousands of contractors on Home Advisor and these other platforms. So that's not good. I'm sure you're aware of that. Also, marketing agencies, there's plenty of like private marketing agencies out there, but most of them, they're not performance or results based. So it's kind of based on promises. They charge you retainers, whether they get your results or not. There's a lot of them out there. And then things like radio or billboard ads, those are very expensive and very low ROI. And it's hard to measure or track the results from that. And that's the key thing here. Whatever strategy or technique you use, you have to 100% make sure that you're tracking it. You're aware of how each dollar is being used and what kind of ROI and result is coming from that. If you're not tracking anything and just walking blindly in the dark, then that's not how you run a business. So just briefly so this is just as a way of introduction here. What you're going to do now is go through these 10 methods I've selected for you. 10 methods that actually work. And I'm going to break up each of them into their own separate videos, so it's not just a huge, long webinar type of thing. And what I've done for you as well is, in addition to each method, I've identified for you the time commitment required, the energy commitment required, and the money commitment required. So I've kind of identified these for you, out of 5. So each of them have their pluses and minus. So some of you have more time than money. Some of you have more money than time. So pick the ones that are most suitable for your situation there. And we're going to go through them one by one and